Good evening, folks. Hope you're well. This is my second video. It's just a follow up to the video that I did previously, and then I'm going to do this video, and then I'm not going to do any videos for a while. But I just needed to follow this up. I did do a second video. However, it didn't record properly. My voice didn't record properly, so I need to get a proper microphone and stuff to do this if I am to continue to make videos, which I may or may not do, depending. Anyway, so in this second video, what I wanted to talk about was, reply to really, was some of the comments that were made under the video. And then I think that would probably explain some of the concepts that I touched on a little bit more, and clarify some of the points as well that I made, which were a bit kind of convoluted and a bit confused. So the video, let me find the video. I'm not prepared at all. I just want to get this done. So, my feed. So here's the video. I'm not going to play the video, of course. But yeah, I'm just going to address some of the comments on, I'm just going to address some of the comments on here first. So, so probably work backwards. So one of the comments was around calling the, I know there's lots of kind of disagreement at the moment, believe it or not, as to what we call our immune system, what is known as our immune system, okay? So there's an argument about whether it actually exists. So in the first video, I called it our protection mechanism. And then somebody commented, Aramel commented that, it's a detox system. So the way I see it is that you've got, you could either split them apart and say we've got a protection mechanism in place, and we've also got a detox system, or you could put them together. But regardless, the system that we have in place, you call it immune system or whatever you call it, the system that we have in place in our bodies, in our electric bodies, protects us from a whole host of things. You could really go into it. I mean, I'm not a doctor or an expert, but in terms of, our bodies protect us from so many different toxins that exist in our environment at the moment, which is just a chemical shitstorm. And it's protecting our bodies even when we don't even know it is. So we could be eating absolute poison and not even know about it, because our bodies have gone, gone into the mode of protection, in terms of, it stopped that particular toxin from hurting us or damaging us. However, then you have your detox system that, of course, works when you do come, a toxin comes into your body, and then your body detoxes. So we all know, or most of us know now, in the truth community, that the detox system that we have, consists of, runny nose, or, weeping eyes, or, pus, or sick, or, any of those kind of mechanisms that click into place. It's an amazing thing, However, the way they have taught us is that when you have a runny nose or a cough or pus or anything like that, it's like emergency stations, it shouldn't be happening, let's try and stop this detox process, all of that stuff. And we know now that's a load of rubbish. So yes, we have a detox system. We definitely do. And yes, we have a protection mechanism, which we should be wholly grateful for. Because, as I said, we are exposed to so many toxins, and we don't even know half of these toxins that they put in the environment, or put into our food, or put into our, put into people's medications, and all of these different things. What I wanted to say as well in terms of the detox system, and I think this addresses like the third comment, is that firstly, when your body does detox, for example, that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing your body is detoxing. However, we know that with the jabs, the COVID jabs, that it is somehow disturbing that detox process. And, well, not disturbing the detox process, but it's in some ways broken down the detoxing process in a way where that mechanism that we have is not working properly. Okay, so that is a bad thing. Now, I'm not saying it's completely broken down for everyone that's jabbed. However, if it's been compromised, then it's a problem. It's a problem. Okay. So somehow they've worked out how to compromise our detoxing system in some way. And that's what they did with the whole AIDS virus. We know there isn't an AIDS virus. What they did is you have a PCR test or a test. They tell you you have AIDS, and then they give you the drugs, and the drugs then compromise or break down or destroy that detox system or that the immune system. And then any toxins that do come in, instead of it being, detoxed or stopped, it's coming straight into the body, it's poisoning the body, and the person can't then detox properly, and then that those toxins stay in the body, and it can lead to getting sicker or even death. And this is what they did with the AIDS drug. We know they've done the same really with the COVID jabs. People, for example, people that that have taken, a lot of people that have taken the jabs, not everyone. I know there's the argument about not everyone's sick and all that kind of stuff, and that's another video maybe. However, what you're finding is that these people are getting COVID, even though there's no COVID virus, again and again and again. So their body is on constant detox mode. The body's constantly detoxing, which is a good thing, right? Lucky for them. However, I feel like, and I could be wrong, if your body if the mechanisms that detox on your body are on constant detox mode, at some point something's got to give, because if it's consistently detoxing, and then other systems in your body are not going to, probably won't work properly. So, and there's that as well. And I don't know the exact science behind it, but it can't be a good thing if your body if those mechanisms that you have in place have to be consistently used all of the time, because it's just trying to get rid of all of this stuff that you have in your body, these toxins, as well as your everyday toxins and your chemtrails and your chemicals from your products you use at home, in the water you drink, and all of this kind of stuff. So it's an amazing thing. However, they have worked out how to compromise it, and unfortunately, a lot of people took the bait. So there's that. And then somebody mentioned about the fact that our bodies are 70% water, which is absolutely true. And the work of Dr. Emoto, who basically did some experiments on water, where you would say to water, I love you, and genuinely kind of talk to water, and it would like form make a formation that was a beautiful formation, like a snowflake. But then you would, and then on the other side, you would shout at the water. You would be abusive, and the water would kind of make a formation of something that was like really misshaped and really horrible looking. And that's sort of, and as the poster said, that ties in with when I was saying that if you shout at a child, if you shout at a child, you can basically change their whole formation. If your body's made up of 70% water and you're being abused and you're being shouted at, you can basically change your whole composition. And obviously we know that, shouting is a frequency, and then we know that water conducts electricity, and so it's all related to that. And the elite parasites know this as well. However, we aren't taught this. It's all kind of, this is just a fantasy. It's all airy fairy. It's a myth, new age and all that kind of stuff. It's not new age at all. It's just a fact that we are electric beings, and all of these frequencies that conduct, through us and around us affect us. So, as someone else said as well on one of the posts, like if you're really stressed, you're going to be at a certain frequency, and then your body is going to react to that, and it's going to act in a way where it's trying to protect you. So it could go in detox mode again, you would be maybe more susceptible because you're on the wrong frequency to for toxins to come into your body, and therefore your body needs to detox. So that could be a constant thing if you're constantly stressed. So if you see how it works, it's kind of cyclical in manner. All of this is you probably know all of this. So I just wanted to kind of address some of the questions. Anyway, so a follow on from the water post, he mentioned about, or she mentioned about the distilled water, and I kind of got the wrong end of the stick with the post, and I corrected myself. However, I wanted to talk about distilled water just quickly, and all the types of water that we drink or try to modify. Now, I mean, it's quite controversial, but I would say that distilled water is no good for you. The minerals have been taken out of it. Now, the minerals inside water are things like magnesium, manganese, potassium, and all of these carry electromagnetic current, I think, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But you need these minerals in your water when you're drinking your water. If you don't, your body looks for it when you drink the water, and then your body turns acidic when it doesn't find it. So I feel like if you're drinking distilled water, you are actually wasting your time. You're wasting your time with distilled water. Okay, your water needs minerals in it. You're also wasting your time if you are using reverse osmosis. And I'll explain as well. So, and really this applies for distilled water, this applies for filtered water, boiled water, because it all depends on your water source. Now, if you are taking water from the tap, the water you take from the tap, right, we know is contaminated. We know it's got parasites in it and all different stuff in it, chlorine and all the things they put in it. However, the water from the tap also is dead water, right? You cannot use a machine, a reverse osmosis machine. You cannot distill water. You cannot filter water and expect the water to come alive. It doesn't work like that. You can't bring water back to life with those methods. You just can't, right? Your best bet, if you can, is to try and find a fresh water source. You can look up how to do that. But mostly you'll find fresh water sources. You just go looking for it, basically. So I have found quite a few fresh water sources. I used to, not so long ago, collect the water myself quite a lot. I've kind of slacked since last year. But the water basically runs through the hills, underground, and then it comes out. And then basically and the water must be running. And the faster the water runs, the better as well. but the water must always be running. And that is the best water, because basically the water is alive. It's got electrons in it, it's got minerals in it, it's been filtered through the soil, and it's the best water to drink. And it's just, and when you taste the water, it's amazing. The water basically tastes like air. It's just amazing. If you haven't tasted it, you should. And a lot of people said to me, yeah, but it's got might have sheep poo in it, or it might be. Do you not filter the water? I said, I'm like, no, I don't. I've never filtered the water. I look at the water, I see it going through the rocks, I see it flowing. I look at the water and I think, no, this is clean water. I taste the water, it's fine. I've never had any issues with it. So if you're going to drink water and you want water that is alive, that you can put in your electric body, try and find a fresh water source. Now, I know this is really difficult for some people. There are quite a lot of fresh water sources up north. If you go to kind of the hills and the mountains, just look, go on walks and just always look for water sources. Or there's a website, I think, called Find a Spring. I think it's called Find a Spring. If it's not, I'll put the link down below. But yeah, you can go on that website, put in your postcode, and then go on a little journey. I think it gives you coordinates. So I would definitely suggest that. And then, obviously, if you can't do that, then the next best thing I would suggest is spring water. From which has minerals, but spring water that's been stored in glass bottles. Now, obviously, water that is stored in bottled plastic bottles, we try to avoid, because we know it leaks. The plastic leaks into the bottle, but also we don't know how long it's been stored for as well, especially in the plastic bottles. None of this is ideal, really. We live a really westernized life, and everything is packaged and everything is given to us, and we're on the government's breasts, and that's the way it is, and it shouldn't be like that. This is why we have these contraptions and can machines and reverse osmosis and distilled and all these different things, when we should be just bringing it back to basics: fresh, living, clean, running water. You never want to get water either from like a water that is still, like a pond, or a reservoir, or water that isn't running or running constantly. Okay, so this is a type of water where you'll find pond scum, and pond scum is that stuff that they scrape off, they dry, they somehow take out the stink, and they sell it back to you with spirulina and cholera and all these health foods that supposedly supposed to be good for us and detox us, when actually they do not. They are full of toxins. So please avoid them, because they will make you sick eventually, if they don't make you sick immediately. There's a lot of health foods that you need to be careful of. So that's the water. Very brief. If you've got any comments about that, do let me know, and then when I make another video, sometime in the future, I'll address those comments as well. But yeah, just keep it all basic, keeping it all basic, and just really thinking about the fact that when we didn't live like this in our enclosed babysitting world, stuff like this wasn't even a discussion, and we tend to think that we in the West, we live the best and we are the best and we're civilized. There ain't nothing civilized about drinking distilled water. There's nothing civilized about getting a machine to filter your water. There isn't. It's just, it's backwards, actually. It's quite backwards. The fact that we actually have to create something like an inanimate object in order to drink clean water. It's ridiculous. Again, I'm not saying that, if you do have water from the tap, we have to keep hydrated. If you have no choice, yes, it's good to filter the water. Yes, it's good to get the fluoride out of the water, all that kind of thing. However, keeping it basic is a good thing. And fluoride, yeah, the fluoride thing as well. I think I've mentioned this before online, but we're fortunate that in this country, in the UK, we only have a few areas that are fluoridated, that we have artificially fluoridated water. And one of those places is Birmingham. I believe the other places is a couple of places, selected places up north, and somewhere in the south. I'm not sure where. But however, they are fighting to fluoridate all of our water. But there are people in the background that are consistently fighting for them not to, which is really good. So if you can get involved in that, that would be good as well. So those were the questions I think that I addressed. What else was there as well? Let me think. Yeah, just a quick one about engaging online as well. So I think it's really important to understand that, you know, I don't know, whoever's watching this video, it might apply to you or whatever, but some people that watch this video will know that we'll see constant things on Twitter, for example, of people fight, immigrant stuff, and people fighting and all this kind of stuff, and, people getting wound up, or, there's stuff about climate change, or there's CBCDs, or, stuff about wearing masks again, and all that kind of thing. And what you need to understand is that this stuff is put out by, agents of the state, by bots, by agent provocateurs, people getting paid to push out this content to get you in a state of anger, upset, distressed, depressed, all this type of thing. And you need to be careful what you put in front of your eyes, because what these elite parasites are doing, they are harvesting all of this negative energy that we're putting into this stuff that we see online, right? I don't know how they do it, but all I know is that they're extracting this kind of this loosh, that they call it loosh. I've been looking more into it actually. I haven't got to a point where I fully understand it, but I think what they're doing is they're extracting all of our negative energy, and they're using it. They're doing rituals, and then they're projecting this false reality for us. So we're kind of making our own reality by responding to this nonsense, right? And recently, not recently, I guess over the past couple of months, I'm realizing this, and I'm not engaging with this stuff. I'm trying not to engage in it. And I think it's really important that you understand that they are using you, and that these people that you think that are just, they're truthers, and, all they're doing is giving you the truth, and, let's get angry, let's get mad. That's their job. They work for the parasites. Katie Hopkins, Tommy Robinson, Joey Barton, Shola Amma, Femi, all left, right, middle. There's so many of them now. Lawrence Fox. Their job is to loosh this negative energy from you, right? They get paid. The elite parasites feed off it because they're unable to create a reality. They're unable to create anything, right? So they have to use us to do this. So it's really important that you try to not engage in that. And therefore, when you don't, and you're a frequency of love, of, patience, of all of the good virtues, that exist, your reality changes. It's not part of your world. You're not going to wear a mask. Okay, why are you sitting there saying, I'm not going to wear a mask, and engaging in all of that? It's pointless. You're not going to do it. It's not your world. It's not your reality. You're not going to get up in the morning and go out and go and fight with some immigrants on the street. You're not going to do that, are you? Because that isn't part of your reality. You're not operating like that. But if you continue to operate where you're getting wound up and you're getting mad and arguing and all of that, that's going to like reflect into your life. And then when you go out, it will come to you. It's like, you remember when I said about, when you go looking for trouble, if you're operating on that frequency, that stuff is going to come to you, and nobody wants to operate like that. Yeah, you get a bit of a dopamine boost when you see, like, of someone wearing a mask in a post and it's funny, and you get, and all that kind of stuff, and you think, oh, I'm never going to go down that road again, and all that stuff. And it's okay for a bit, but after that, it's like, oh, what are you getting out of it, But when you do kind of remember as well, like our phones and our computers and all these things are scrying mirrors, and they can take our electromagnetic frequency, again, take that, do their rituals and manifest that into into their own reality, a false reality for us. And if you want to know more about this, I would probably try and look up Max Spires. I always get his name wrong because he talked about this as well. I've been watching some of his videos. I know people have opinions about him, but you pick the meat from the bones. But when I heard him say that, it kind of made sense to me. And I knew some of it anyway, but it made sense to me that this is what they're doing, and this is what people like Lawrence Fox are up to and things like that. It just gets ridiculous. And it's like, how long are you going to just keep engaging in this nonsense, So I think it's definitely worth thinking about as well, because none of us want to be used by these elite parasites. They're doing enough to kind of try to destroy our realities, but I feel like we can make our own reality and stuff, and do, and operate a healthy frequency, spend that time trying to improve our lives, eating healthy, having healthy relationships, and protecting ourselves as well from negative frequencies. So, for example, buying lots of succulent plants in your house. I've got quite a few here. Planting sunflower seeds, sunflowers in your front garden, not cutting down your fir trees, getting a Faraday box for your internet, your internet box, all that type of thing. You can actually protect yourself. You can protect yourself by crystals as well. I'm sure some of you know that. Just have to look it up. And pray every day. Pray for protection, because we are surrounded by these 4D demons that exist all around us that we can't see, but they're here, legions of them. And we need to protect ourselves from these demons and their servants, these elite parasites, and their puppets, their servants, like your everyday instigators and troublemakers and bots and people like that. But yeah, you just need to protect yourself. It's not even about I don't know. It's not even about you stopping yourself from reacting. It's more about actually protecting yourself. Because remember, when you're protecting yourself, you're not only protecting yourself, you're also protecting your children and the people around you, because they're coming for us, so we need to protect ourselves. And detox ourselves and stuff. And I need to do it, and I need to do it as well. I need to do it as well all the time. There's a lot of things that I need to address and stuff like that. I'm well aware of that. I'm not a hypocrite. But yeah, I just thought I would mention that as well. Should I mention the harvesting of flour? Maybe. Should I touch on it? It's a bit long, 30 minutes. I guess just a little bit of an add-on. So, I have spoken about this before, online, but one of the Black Mirror episodes was about I think it's the first one, where basically they are taking people's lives, and then kind of taking someone's life, making a film about it without their permission, via their phone, that's kind of a brief thing about it. But I wrote about this years and years ago when I said that they're harvesting our data, they're harvesting our lives online, and that's why all of this was created, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of thing, because these elite parasites, who I think are probably part reptilian, whatever you call them, reptilian demon, they can't create. And so what they do is they harvest our lives, our data, our thoughts, our feelings, our our relationships, our everything. They don't have any of this, all of these emotions that we have, and they basically harvest that data and create the world. So they create programs, they create TV shows, they create songs, they create books, authors. So all these people that you have in positions like writers, producers, authors, all these people, I don't think any of them actually write this stuff themselves. I think they are harvesting data from us, and they're creating it. It is like creating this false reality. So they're creating these TV programs like a false reality. They're creating soaps, they're creating films, all this kind of thing, and all of this stuff is taken from us. It's harvested from us. As living, breathing, electric beings. They're harvesting from us and then taking the credit for it. And we're watching this stuff and we're getting all emotional. Oh, I can really relate to that soap. I can really relate to that film, and you're crying and all this stuff. Like some of the things I cry at, like This Is Us or whatever. And actually, it's not them sitting there writing it. They're just taking it from us. They're looshing it from us. And so what can we do about that? Well, I don't know. Just get off social media, but then it's quite difficult, I guess, for a lot of people, even for me, but just know that's what they do, and just know that you're giving, a lot of these authors that you're giving credit to, people like the Harry Potter woman and people like that. They never wrote those books. And all these blockbuster writers that write all these amazing books. It's not them. It's not them. They're pre-chosen. You can argue all day and all night about it, but I'm telling you now, the majority of stuff that gets put out, blockbusters and big time books and all this stuff, it's not them. It's us. We are the creators. So if we are the creators, I should be in bed by now. It's 9 o'clock. We are the creators. We can create our own reality and our own society and our own everything. It's just being able to get everyone together and to do that. But we can do that on an individual basis, as I said. Vibrate at a good frequency. So yeah, I would definitely suggest that you look more into how you vibrate higher and all of that stuff. And I'm not a new ager, as I said before in my previous video, because all of the virtues that I'm saying that you should be at, the frequency, all the virtues have a frequency, and all of those virtues can be found in the Bible. If you look at the armour of God, put on the armour, and you look at all the virtues, and these are the virtues that we should be vibrating at, and these are the virtues that are going to protect us as well. So yeah, have a look at that, because it's not what you think. You think it's just preaching and all that stuff. Now it's very, very deep. It's not what the church tells you, the church teaches. The church is just pagan. The church just teaches rubbish. Go directly to the scriptures and read. And it's not just the 66 books. There's hundreds of scrolls. I've read them, most of them, and they all make sense. And a lot of it is to do with frequency. And that isn't just some new age stuff that I'm making up. It's stuff that I've sat down and really put together. But anyway, yeah. But no, I'm no saint either. So there's, yeah. I'm not a saint. Anyway, I've gone on. It's 35 minutes. I really hope there isn't any problem with the audio for this, because I can't do this. I can't do another 30 minutes again. I just can't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, hopefully I'll do one when I feel up for it again in the future. I've got a lot of topics to talk about, really, quite a few rants as well, but yeah, we'll see. All right, thank you, and just have a wonderful week, month, year. Remember to vibrate as high as you can. Do good to people, do good to people, do nice things to people, and yeah, try not to be negative, and try not to respond to the madness, because that's what it is. It's just a complete and utter clown world. Do not participate in this clown world. All right, thank you.